Save the Children in Armenia, Habitat for Humanity, Project Harmony, CARE International. In 2012 and 2013, she was ICANN at-large delegate to ICANN nomination committee from Asia Pacific and Australia region. From 2013 to 2016, she served as a chair for the Asia Pacific, Australia, and Pacific Islands Regional at-large organization in ICANN. Since February 2013, she's been a board member of the Internet Society chapter in Armenia since 2007. She's been actively involved with internet governance issues with the Diplo Foundation. She went to the IG capacity building training in 2007. She's an alumna of the first European Summer School of Internet Governance in Germany in 2007, as well as an ICANN fellow. She's ambassador to the IGF in 2010, a returning ambassador of IGF in 2011, and Next Generation Leaders Program alumna. Oh my God, you've done quite a bit. And a NISON Collaborative Leader Exchange Program alumna as well. She's a Salzburg Seminar Fellow of the academic course session, International Legal Perspectives on Human Rights, and a CEU Summer School Participant on Human Rights and Forced Displacement course. Please give a warm round of applause to Siranush Vardanyan.
Thank you. I didn't know that you will list all those things.
We want to let people know that we're bringing in Class A faculty here.
Thank you. So hi again. I know it's very hard to sit on the last session, but I hope we'll make it interactive. So we're planning a way that for the first part, just for 30 minutes, I will go through the newcomers program available in ICANN and will inform you what we are planning to do during ICANN 61 in Puerto Rico. But for the second part, it will be a very interactive session, and I'm honored to be co-facilitated by students from Puerto Rico, different public and private schools who are here and will join me later on the stage. And I hope that we all together, you will become not an active listener since the morning as you are, but active speakers. So we will go through the interactive session discussing internet trust from the student perspective, from end user perspective. So we'll come to that. Before that, where's my video?
Technical, Mr. Video, tell me where it is.
It should be on the screen.
Yeah, it's on the desktop.
Ernesto? Yeah.
Are you interested in what makes the Internet work? At the Internet Corporation,
Just a short video before we go with the presentation, and apologies for some technical issues here. No?
are you interested in what makes the Internet work? At the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, we join with our technical partners to help make it work. How do we do that? Any device connected to the Internet has a unique number called its Internet Protocol address. It's like a postal address. This unique address allows videos, messages, and other data to be sent from anywhere on the Internet to a specific device. With our technical partners, we help coordinate and develop policies about these unique identifiers. This work is done by a dedicated community of volunteers who care about maintaining one global Internet. So if you're interested in ICANN's work, we need you to get involved. We offer 2 programs to help you get familiar with and participate in ICANN. The first is the Next Gen program. This program is for college or university students between the ages of 18 to 30. The second is the Fellowship program. This one is for professionals 21 years and over who are ready to volunteer. To apply, make sure you meet the eligibility requirements and complete a short online application. If you're selected for either program, you'll travel to and participate in an ICANN meeting. While at the meeting, you'll network with others in the ICANN community and learn about our mission and work. And ICANN helps you get to the meeting. We provide your flight, hotel, and a small stipend. These programs are a great way for you to get started and help you along your ICANN stakeholder journey. To learn more about the Fellowship and Next Gen programs, visit us at go.icann.org/journey.
Yes, thank you. So that was the short video showing about telling you about these 2 programs, which are run by ICANN to welcome newcomers in our fora. And I'm happy to see here 5 fellows who will be representing ICANN 61 in Puerto Rico, who are also part of North American School of Internet Governance. Can you raise your hands, guys? Yeah, we have 6. Yeah. Great. And actually, this is an excellent start for those for whom ICANN 61 will be the first ICANN meeting. So I'm happy to see you here. And with that, I will be talking about stakeholder journey. By saying stakeholder, I mean you, each and every one. We have each and every person here has the place in ICANN and has the voice. And we need you. We want your voice to be heard. Before going there, I will present you 4 slides, how to develop your skills at ICANN. So we'll go from being a newcomer, then how to be a learner, at the end as a collaborator, and finally, how to become a leader in ICANN. So to start with, as a newcomer, there are many ways to join ICANN, and I will be talking about some of them, like Fellowship, Next Gen, and Newcomers Program we have. But there are a lot of information on the website available, which you can go through and subscribe to newsletters, which are published on monthly basis, and during ICANN meeting, it's on daily basis. We have an ICANN Learn platform, which has a lot of huge resources in it. So please, they are free courses. So please go and take those courses. Sign up for ICANN Learn platform, and they are for free. And you will get a certificate now. This is a new approach that now we provide also a certificate for those who take these courses. From the newcomer, going through these courses, going through this information, videos, ICANN website, you pass this newcomer part and become a learner. There are always something to learn. ICANN 61 will be for me my 25th, I guess, ICANN meeting, but I'm still learning. There are always something new for me to learn. And I entered ICANN world as a fellow. That was my first time when I learned about this organization, and I came as a fellow from the country called Armenia, which many of you may even not know where it is. But I was selected as a representative from developing country to come and participate. And that's how I get engaged later as a community member and now as an ICANN staff. So as a learner, you sign up for ICANN org account, subscribe to newsletters, and you can also find the events nearby where you can participate, which are close to you, close to your region. The third step is collaborator. So you learn and then you start to participate. By participating, you already get engaged with the people who are working next to you. These are global stakeholder engagement team of ICANN who are working for North America, for Latin America. So they are here to help you also to be engaged. And you can also apply for NextGen at ICANN and fellowship program, and I will be speaking about the eligibility of those programs. And as a collaborator, you can already start to plan your own event. Like Alfredo as a great example of being a fellow for ICANN 60, and now he runs first North American School of Internet Governance here in Puerto Rico. I think that this is a huge step forward as a newcomer, then as a learner, as a collaborator, and I'm looking forward seeing him as a ICANN in one of the ICANN leadership positions. So, and then you become a leader by being an active part of it and making your voice heard. So this is this PowerPoint presentation will be shared with you. All the links are working there, so I hope that you will go and investigate those links. You will have that chance and find the ways to subscribe to newsletters, to create your own account at ICANN website. And I will speak about 3 programs available: the fellowship one, NextGen, and newcomers. So fellowship program is a capacity building, a capacity development program. As the video says, it is for 21 and up. Till now, ICANN fellowship program started in Puerto Rico at ICANN 29. So this is 11 years of the program. We are celebrating back in Puerto Rico. So I think this is a huge milestone.
And Naralo also.
Yes, exactly. That was exactly the event, ICANN 29, where Naralo had been established and the first ICANN fellowship was run. And since then, for the last 11 years, we have now about 650 fellows. So every single time we have newcomers, we have returning alumni, those who are already part of the program coming back. And we have fellowship program, it runs with every ICANN meeting. So for every single ICANN meeting, we have the application form open, but we are a bit behind. So on 20th of March, we will be opening the application round for Barcelona, ICANN 63. So it will not be the next one, ICANN 62 in Panama, but it will be open for ICANN 63. We are 6 months behind. And we need this time to do the selection. So to open for 1 month an application process, to do the selection, and then to publish this, and have the time for everyone to get prepared for the meeting. So as current fellows for Puerto Rico, they had been engaged already for 3 months. So we are collaborating back and forth, and they know that they will be in this meeting. They are selected, they are passing through the big coaching process which we have in place for the fellowship program, and they already know virtually, know each other before coming to the meeting. So for the next gen. We have a person who is currently a next gen, selected next gen for Puerto Rico, and he will be actually co-facilitating the panel with me here, Alan. So this is again the same process for every ICANN meeting, but this is for students, those who are currently enrolled in the universities, so they are studying. And this if fellowship program is open globally, NextGen is only for region where the ICANN meeting will take place. So for ICANN 61 Puerto Rico, the eligibility criteria for NextGeners should be that they should be from this region. For the fellowship program, it is global. There is no restriction of countries. So 2 years ago, there was a review of the fellowship program. And prior to that, we have restrictions based on the World Bank countries. So only developing countries based on World Bank were eligible for the fellowship program. After the review, it was decided that there is no restriction. And it's already 2 years, we have North America eligible to apply. And we already have a great success from this region. Newcomer is an open, so you all know that ICANN meetings are open to everyone. There is no fee for participation. You can just register and come and participate. And at every ICANN meeting, we run Newcomers Day. So for those who will be coming to ICANN 61 and for whom this will be the first ICANN meeting, I will encourage you to come to the Newcomers Day, which will take place on Sunday, March 11th, from 10:30 till 3 p.m. So this is almost the whole day, where you will learn about ICANN multi-stakeholder model. So what are those advisory committees and what are those supporting organizations, which makes ICANN multi-stakeholder model. So please come and please participate. Newcomers Day is an open for everyone. So and all fellows and all next geners will be a part of this. So the newcomers will be there. So come, introduce yourself, get to know others, and try to learn from what is ICANN and what we will be doing during this ICANN 61. So what are the differences? We have talked about the age difference, but together with this, fellowship program has specific sessions for the fellows, and there is a capacity development, 1 week capacity development for fellows. As they are already professionals, they are already working in the area of internet governance, or may not, but have the interest to be engaged. For next geners, they are coming to the meeting with already prepared presentation. So this may be a topic of their university study, something which they are maybe focusing on, and they have already they applied with that presentation that they are going to present those this work at the meeting. They are having, next geners are having their closed sessions. So every next gen, there are 15 next gen and 5 ambassadors for each meeting. They are getting together and do this presentation so everybody can learn from others. As for the fellowship program, we usually have 60 fellows selected for each round. So we may have this change coming based on the new budget, fiscal year 19 budget, which is now under the discussions. So this budget topic will be the main discussion point during ICANN 61. And the qualities for each, so fellowship program provides the opportunity of 3 times participation, with the understanding that first-time fellow, like when I was first-timer, I came there and I had no idea what is going on. And I got a little bit out of what has been discussed. And at that time when I was a fellow, there was no coaching program, no one was preparing me. Now what we have 6 weeks prior to the program, we have selected alumni of the program, those who had been already a part of the program at least once. And we have an example of Matthew serving as a coach for this round. So they are assigned coaches for the newcomers. So each and every coach can be assigned, or up to 3 mentees. So up to 3 newcomers. And this helps those newcomers before coming to ICANN to find out the way, okay, what does it mean to be a newcomer? What is ICANN actually? Because it's very informative, it's very challenging to come for the first time to your ICANN meeting and learn everything. This is impossible, absolutely. So NextGen, as I said, they have 10 minutes presentation. And newcomers, and those who are newcomers, almost all sessions during the week at ICANN are open. So you can go to any session based on your interest. All the sessions are transcribed and recorded, so you can go back and listen if you miss some session. We have 6 simultaneous translation in 6 languages, so you can find there in your own language, the information in your own language. The funding, the website told you that, the video told you that we are covering travel, we are covering hotel, and we are providing stipend to fellows and to NextGeners just to cover their transportation, some daily food, like what they need, just to have money to feel better. To survive, yeah. So, for newcomers, there is no funding. These are not so the meetings are open, but they are not getting funding for come as a newcomer. So only selected NextGeners and fellows get this stipend, travel, and accommodation. And as I said, there is an application form, an application process for fellowship and NextGens. You should apply through that system. You cannot send your application or your interest through email and say, hey, I'm interested to become a fellow. On ICANN website, we recently updated ICANN fellowship webpage. You may find all the eligibility criteria and the link to the online application form where you can go and apply. And actually, on March 20th, the Barcelona meeting will be open, and only 1 month the application system will be open. It closed on the day which you see on the website, so it's closed automatically. Because there are people who are calling and saying, can you open for 1 more day? I just didn't have time. No, it's closed automatically. The system is there and the timing is there. So be on time. Here are some links for you to go and to learn about these programs. I have told you about ICANN Learn, and this is really a good platform with huge resources. So fellows who are selected, they are passing through ICANN Learn courses. There are courses for beginners, and I will encourage you to go and sign up for ICANN Learn and take some courses. They are really very helpful. And you don't need to be a fellow or NextGen to take ICANN Learn courses, okay? It's open for everyone. So here is the link for that, and you can go, and ICANN Learn is currently available in 6 languages, so you can take also in Spanish. So that's all related ICANN fellow, the newcomers, the stakeholder engagement. before going to the next panel, to the next discussion point, I would like to hear from you if you have any questions related to that. Please.
When is Icon 63 in Barcelona taking place? When?
Icon 63 in Barcelona will take place in October. So it's mid-October, closer to the end. Any questions? Yes, Marilyn Kate.
I think, Siranush, you might want to just mention that I'm happy to have you do this. Mention the importance of it being the AGM and the high-level government attendance.
Sorry, I didn't
The
hear.
AGM and the high-level government attendance.
Okay,
And that's all.
yes. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
So AGM is annual meeting. So ICANN has 3 meetings in a year. One is annual general meeting, which is the first in the fiscal year. For the coming year, fiscal 19, it will be Barcelona. The second one is a community meeting, so community forum. Will be next year in Japan, ICANN 64 in Kobe. And the last one, which is in June usually, this is the policy forum. So for this year, for fiscal year 18, the policy forum will be in Panama. So ICANN 62, the next one, will be in Panama. This one in Puerto Rico is a community forum, so it is second in the row. What Marilyn is saying that during AGM in Barcelona, which will be coming, we usually have high governmental meetings. So all the almost all the representatives of the governments are coming to that meeting, and they are having a special session, workshop, meeting, which is called high-level meeting. So Barcelona will be that meeting. I just also would like to mention that for AGM, for general, annual general, and for community forum, fellowship program is open for everyone. For policy forum, we have limitation that only alumni of the program can apply, which means those who had been a part of the fellowship program at least once, they are eligible to apply for the next one, for the policy forum. So for Panama meeting, we are going to announce the selected candidate's name on March 9, right before the start of ICANN 61 in Puerto Rico. And you will see the names of all alumni of the program. But this year we have regional newcomers fellowship pilot, which we did first time in Johannesburg last year, and we will be doing this time in Panama. So we have selected 15 newcomers who will represent only LAC region, Latin America and Caribbean region. This is where the meeting will be taking place. So this is only for policy forum. But for the other 2 meetings, it's open for all. So Barcelona, again, which will be open on March 20, is open for everyone. So those who are interested, you can go and apply for this. Any other questions? Yes, please.
Thank you. You said the ICANN AGM is all completely open. So does that mean you can sit on the governmental high meetings and observe what they're doing and learn from them if possible?
I think there are sessions which are closed, and I think that these meetings on high level are closed. Only registered, authorized people can go there. But all the government advisory committee sessions at ICANN are open. So this is a new approach. So they are now open for everyone. You can go and participate in their sessions and listen what they are discussing and how their decision making is, and consensus is gained. Yes.
Any other questions?
No. Then with great pleasure, I would like to invite my co-facilitators of this panel. And please take a seat. Please welcome our students.
So I would like first them to introduce yourselves.
Good afternoon. My name is Alan Fred. I'm a student at University of Puerto Rico at Bayamón. I'm going to be at next gen at Icon 61.
So my name is Stephanie Reyes and I study EMCT, Escuela Especializada en Matemáticas, Ciencia y Tecnología de San Juan, and I'm an 11th student.
Good afternoon. My name is Alexander Guzman. I attend at the School of EMCT, School of Math, Science and Technology Center of San Juan. And my interest in cybersecurity.
Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, and I think that you will help also us to talk about, so now I am taking out my hat as an ICANN staff, and I'm a student now. I'm not a faculty member. So we together will talk about internet and trust. For us to start, I found out one survey which was done in 2003 by University of Oxford for the Oxford Internet Institute about trust, about internet trust. And they were identifying two categories of internet trust, which is called cyber trust. So they identified net confidence and they identified net risk. So there is a confidence, there is a trust, and there is a risk related with that trust. So first of all, let us think about what is trust, how we define the trust. And we'll talk about what is your approach as a student, as a users of internet. So for me, for example, if I read an article, I can trust the source, but it may be subjective. Another person who is reading the same article can say, I don't trust this source. So what is trust? To me, it's my own personal understanding of confidence, so of the reliability of that information. So let's talk about what is trust for you and how you use this internet, how you trust the information in the internet when you are using it and how you are using it. Who would like to start?
Well, for me to define trust, for me, trust is like how reliable something is. It just depends on the source. If I know that the source has a history of, if they're writing an article and I know that, for example, if the person writing it comes from the academia, I know that he has a position, an education, maybe a background in it, and it's going to be less, maybe not biased, but I can make sure that what he's doing, he knows what he's doing, and maybe we can put more weight in it instead of, if I'm reading a blog, I do not know if the person who is writing it, what the background is, or if basically I can start writing a blog and maybe I don't know what I'm writing for. So it just depends on who the source is, where the information is coming from, and again, it's like how reliable the source is. That's for me, my opinion.
So for me, for example, the past of our history, we'll look for information throughout magazines, library, and many other sources. But nowadays, we may use the internet as a useful method for research information. So for example, databases that permit us that research information, just for example, journalism, that how he said we don't know the background of that information, but how I said journalism may make us sure that it may be trust for us. So to gather information from it.
Well, for me, I have to like make sure that is a fact, that what I'm reading. Like to know that there is a fact, we have to know, like, continue searching through various websites or various places that you can make sure of yourself. Hey, that's actually reliable. So that's my perspective. I want to add something.
Yes, please.
I think that also depends of where the person is coming from, the generation, I mean, because I know that some of our parents and grandparents, they may be starting to use the internet, or they're not as confident as we are using the internet. And for example, my dad and my mom, they're sometimes just sharing everything in Facebook as if it is a fact, as most of the time it isn't. Like, how many times does an artist have died when they haven't? Like, it's just a post that someone made up just to bring clicks, like clickbaits. So yeah, it's basically a generation thing, I think, in how much confidence do you put in the information in the internet.
Okay, so when we are talking about trust, we also should think about the risks. And the survey, which I was telling you, they had the results, some results, so bad experiences online. What kind of bad experiences they faced online? Remember, this survey was done in 2003, and we are 15 years now ahead of this. But the main risks and the main bad experiences were unwanted commercial emails or spam, and this was 47% of the respondents who tell this. Abusive emails, computer viruses, which is a big number, 18%. There was an arrangement to make money, such so-called Nigerian fraud, and I think this is actual even now, and we still are getting this type of emails, and we still are having people who believe and trust that this is true. They receive emails not intended for you, like you can see in the subject line, there is no one, but it came to you. Less than 5% of users indicated problems with excessive online bills, online purchases, which were misrepresented, email opened by the others. And together with this, just over 54%, so half of the students, more than half of the users, did not experience of any problems while using internet. So it's some kind of health. Risk is there, and we see that we can face this, but there are also people who don't see any risk. So you are users, and I would like also to invite you who are sitting here to join the discussion. So what kind of risks we are facing now? Or do you face any risk? And let us think about how we can avoid facing those risks. Please, who want to start? And please also, I welcome you to join the discussion.
Okay, so I've been taught, like when I was in the cybersecurity, when you receive an email, spam or some type of commercial that is fake, you should figure first that is the domain is correct. If you receive like a PayPal and it's actually another domain, like it's very different than the PayPal.com, then it's a scam. If you put the information, it might be stolen or even robbed technically. So that's one of the risks nowadays we face. Nowadays, like those scams are actually like evolutionating. Now it doesn't have to be PayPal.com. It can be another type of PayPal and another type of domain that can also steal your information, but in another, more stealthy way.
So I, for example, avoid doing online payments, even now. I don't trust. I don't know why, but I really think that someone can steal my information. So I'm using internet every day, so this is becoming some kind of addiction. So if there is no phone, there is no internet, you're just like, there is vacuum, there is no breath.
We know about that after the hurricane.
Yes, but at the same time, I still don't trust for doing online payments for my home utilities or facilities, some payments. So, yeah, but so how we can change this approach?
How we can change the approach?
Or do you face the same issue?
Well,
I mean, I can speak from my perspective from the country, which maybe has not this too much developed banking system, though it is in place.
I do trust to buy through the internet because I'm a little lazy to go to the shop, so I basically buy everything like through some pages because I trust that I'm going to receive like what I'm buying for, because I have had some experience that maybe the package doesn't arrive, but the client service that the company has is pretty good. So I trust them that if I don't receive what I'm buying for, I'm going to be reimbursed, or I'm going to, I don't know how to say it, like.
Did you face any challenges when you ordered one thing and you get another thing?
No, I haven't experienced that. But there was a time that it didn't. That the stuff that I bought, it didn't arrive at time, so they reimbursed me with the money. But after a couple of weeks, I received it anyway. So that's a first, I guess. But my family too, they don't trust to buy stuff through the internet because, again, I think it is more a generation thing. Because since we were kids, we were using the internet, we were more exposed, so we have more trust in it. And I think it's basically that where the background that we had. If you were always like using the internet, you will tend to have more confidence in it.
Okay. So yes, please, Russia.
I think that in this day and age, there's a growing trust in online purchases. You just need to be savvy about the sites that you use. And I mean, there's a risk associated with everything. And I think together with the online world, and nowadays if you look at how many businesses have closed shop because of online purchasing, and that electronic media is advancing, and more people are purchasing and active on in e-commerce and in some way or the other. However, I mean I completely agree with all the risks. It's just a question of education and developing the system. However, when it comes to viruses and phishing schemes, and I know I deal with it even in my own office, where you find people have syndicates which work together and they can easily access. We manage a fund called the Guardians Fund. So this fund it's got about 60 billion rand in it. That my office manages, and money has been stolen from this fund through online activity, fraudulent online activity. So I mean, there are huge associated risks, but you need to make sure you need to get an advisory service to fully assist you. So I think your cybersecurity future career is something that is going to be very current. You're going to have to be on your toes constantly, because I think developments are constantly evolving, and this in itself means that the goalposts are constantly being shifted. So you really need to be completely aware of what's happening. You can never say that I know what's happening in the cybersecurity world or what the risks are, because constantly there are more syndicates which are being developed or formed and more risks.
So what I'm hearing is awareness raising is the key.
Awareness and ensuring that your businesses and that you take proper measures as far as possible.
Yeah, and I think I have read a lot of times that the weakest link in cybersecurity is the human, basically. and nobody is like exempt, like no company is exempt of a cyber attack as phishing, for example. Because, for example, Banco Popular is like the biggest bank in Puerto Rico, and I think last year they had a phishing attack where some people sent an email saying that they needed to collaborate like the information, and when you click the page, it was basically like the same page that the Banco Popular had. The only thing that changed was the link. And after you wrote your information, your security number, your number account, everything, all the information that you need like to create the account, it redirects you, like it changes, like it sends you to the main page of Banco Popular. So if you didn't notice the link at first, that the link wasn't the correct one, after you submit your information, you will never notice it, because after they redirect you to the right page, it's going to be bancopopular.com, so you will never notice that you were in a scam page.
Good point. Yes. Warsha, and we'll come back to you.
I just want to supplement what you said.
Keep it close. Keep it close.
Data protection is also something that is crucial, because information is. Okay, can I just speak?
Before the video.
Oh, okay.
It's for a video, we're recording it, so.
Okay, all right. The other point that I wanted to make is that data protection in this day and age is something that you have to concentrate on, because your information, your personal information, is a huge commercial commodity in this, currently. And then you often find, even in South Africa, we've had problems where there've been massive breaches. In terms of data protection. So where you would find, if, for instance, a bank has your information and they don't secure that information, that database properly, and if that database is accessed, then your banking records are exposed. It means your salary advice, your personal number, your identity number, and that information in the wrong hands can completely ruin you. So it's something else that has to be, it should be a key focus area, and many governments all over the world are ensuring that the data protection regulatory systems are evolving and transforming.
Yes. Let's see what the ladies say, and then we'll come back to you.
Your first one.
So I come from Effective Research Institute of Technology, and we have this situation within bricks and mortars, right? We're seeing that the fashion industry, just like you mentioned, like our new generation prefers to buy online. Since you guys are going to be the future of cybersecurity, I want you guys to maybe explain to someone that comes from the fashion side, what are your main worries when it comes down to buying merchandise online?
Thank you. This is really a good question. So, give the law people the food for thoughts. So, what kind of risks you envisage for them to solve this? So, to make to make it being regulated by law. So, what kind of issues you think will come up?
So, for example, when I think of buying something throughout the internet store, so I think first of all of the quality. So major people think of the quality. So I think that if we buy throughout the store in internet, I think it's very risky, because we don't know the consequences that will be how I said, the quality, or maybe
You can even try at first before buying it.
There's some places that you can buy the clothes, and if they don't fit, you just send it back, because that's too much work. Unless the person. So when it comes to buying clothes, I prefer go to the mall to try all the clothes that I'm trying to buy, and if I don't like it, I just don't buy it. and I don't need to go through all the process of buying it, waiting for receiving it, and then if I don't like it, send it back again. Oh, it's too much work, I guess.
So also how he said that you don't know the time that when you will receive that product, so it will be more proficient, how he said, to try that product to be more secure to your benefit. So I think that it will be the solution.
For example, for me is that when the actual product that you're buying is actually, the original product. Because I once bought like a PS4 controller and it didn't work at all. I mean, it was like the fake version of the PlayStation 4, and it broke like in 3 days. It was absolutely atrocious.
So how we can solve this? What can help us to solve this issue? So to raise the trust towards making online purchasing.
Well,
what do you think about this?
How the lady said, I think about the same way she does. So I think it's all about awareness, how she said. So I think if on every site that you enter on internet, you have to be aware. So I think that's the clue of it.
Okay.
I think we could, how do I say it, like, for example, if someone is, if I'm the owner of a web page, and I as a government, I guess, I should verify the products that he's selling are the quality of the product, that they're not, I don't know, that they are original from the vendor. That I'm not selling like copies of it. That can happen like what happened to him. That it doesn't last like long. So I don't know.
So do you think awareness will help you to increase your trust, or it will not?
Well, actually, the awareness for the person you're buying, because if you're buying from someone that is not actually trustable in anything, it's not.
But do you know he's trustable or no?
Well, at least for me in eBay, there's like rates of if this person is trustable or not, and the reviews and the comments of the people. Like, before buying anything at on internet, I always check the reviews, if they're good, if they're not good, if the product. Some people are always like saying that the product broke after 3 days, and maybe they have some mistakes in the spelling, or the information wasn't accurate, it was biased. So before buying anything at all over the internet, I always prefer to read the reviews, the comments, and all the content, just to make sure that the source is reliable before buying it.
So this is an excellent tip for all of us. Before doing any purchase, go and read more about the company who is selling some product.
So
Yes.
I want to add something about, he said that I also check about the comments, but I really also check about the stars, the quality about the stars. So if it's 5 stars, 4 stars, so I don't know, I think that I really look at it about the quality.
I see. Yes, please. There is a question.
It's a comment also.
That's more welcome.
Okay, I'm a buyer at the internet, and I do prefer to buy a lot of things at the internet, but as you said, with some clothes that you are not sure that your size, if it fits, if you're gonna like it or something. But what I wanted to say is that I like to compare internet to the world. It's the same risk. You have to have the preventions to do things. You don't get to give your card, your visa or your card to everyone. And it's the same with internet. You have to take all the provisions when you get into a site that is selling something. You have to look for reviews, for history of that site, and after all that, you still don't trust, and you want that. You may use like a prepaid card with low balance, so that if someone has to, you don't lose that much.
So what I'm hearing that the risk is everywhere. You are doing the purchase online or in person, the risk is there.
Yeah,
right?
always.
Okay, please.
Hi, I'm Helen Pedroso, and I wanted to share an experience and ask a question. So, I needed to fly to Canada, and apparently there is this transit visa that I needed, and I was not aware because my airplane company didn't tell me. So I am in front of the check-in booth trying to check in, and I figure out that this is a thing I need to do. So I go online, I go to Google, and I look for how to do this. And first thing that comes up is like there, I go to it, I do it, and you know, the people in the booth tell me like it usually takes like a few minutes, you know, it's gonna be okay. I wait for an hour, lose my plane, and then the attendant sits by my side and walks me through it and sends me a link. And that's when I figured out that that first link that was there was an ad from a law agency that worked with doing visas for people. Point being, I paid $70 for something that actually costed $7 if I just went to the government site instead. And that's the system that is in place, right? It's there, like the ads are there for that specific purpose. So my question is, from a user perspective and from a security perspective too, they gave my money back, like they were nice people by the end of the day, but it could have been a scam. It could have been a scam. And because I was so nervous about the situation, I didn't really think about the entire security thing. I was just really nervous. I needed to get this done.
You just wanted to go to Canada.
Exactly. I just wanted to go to Canada. And, you know, God bless this woman who helped me. But my question is, so when there are government in place, for example, systems, and there's this other entire system, which is totally legal. I'm not saying that it's illegal for people to sell things that could be provided by the government system. But there was nothing anywhere for me to read about this. Like in their site, they didn't mention the government site. They didn't mention anything. So my question is, when there is a situation like this, when a public service is being provided by a third party, and that's legal, and there's nothing there for you to even be aware about this, how do you see the security of the user in this case? And I want to know if there's anything in place that is running about this, or is any discussion, because I'm just really interested about this topic.
Good point.
Can I help him with that?
Maybe they have their own answer. Let's listen first, and then we'll come back to you. Alan? Your idea.
Just like, Helen, did you ask first for the, you asked first for those people like, hey, is there a nearby site, or, they just told you, hey, look it up on Google.
Yes, that's what they said.
Well, when you're in those cases, I suggest like, you just searches for the first thing that appears on Google, right?
Yeah.
So it's like for me, if the price is too high, I continue searching. I mean, my experience is when I'm buying a part, something I want. So I start searching a lot of places for different prices. The lowest price is the most that I get, but if it's not trustable, it's better than having like the medium product.
They didn't disclose the price in the site. It was the last part of the process. I just figured it out when I was finishing it.
So, as a user, I don't trust third source. So for me, the initial information should be on the government website. So what I'm doing, I'm going to state websites which says, this is the rule. This is, I can trust, I only trust those. Those ads, it's not for me, but it may be different. Yes.
So the system is designed to help you, but you have to pay attention. So yes, the first couple of things when you do a Google search are typically paid for ads. They're indicated by a slightly different marker on the page, which is complicated if you're in a hurry or nervous. I get this.
And they are
When you're buying things online and you're submitting payment information, there should be a lock in the URL bar. Yeah, if you don't see a lock symbol, it's not secure. They have not secured the transfer of that financial data information. So that's another step for this. So I have not had a physical paper checkbook for 20 years. I do everything online, house payments, car payments, everything you can think of online. Everything's automated on normal schedule. I pay friends through Venmo, PayPal, Apple's new system. Completely trust it, but you have to be paying attention the whole time. You have to watch for the lock symbol. You have to make sure that you're on the official site. When I buy online, I only buy from approved vendors or known vendors. When I'm on eBay, I make sure that they have good ratings, good seller rating, good product ratings, stars, like you said, quality. And then when you interact with people that are outside of that space, there are some new sites that have come up that are third-party sales, like classified ads, like in the US, Craigslist is a very popular site. It's a classified ads. There are no checks and balances for Craigslist. You are taking a risk if you pay for something online with somebody on Craigslist you don't trust. So that's the dangerous part. But the rest of it is there. It's designed for you to succeed. But the human element, as you said, if you mess up, then the checks and balances will not help you.
So what is your tip, briefly, for not to be cheated?
Not to be cheated, eyes open, plenty of caffeine, paying attention.
Okay, good point. Yes, Varsha, and then we'll come back to you.
I think from the regulatory side, there are consumer protection directives, and every country has them. So it's really important for you moving forward. Yes, these are all the little steps that you can implement. But I would recommend that you maybe even read the OECD guidelines on consumer protection, because those are pretty universal standards, and you'll find that most countries adopt them. So consumer protection in an e-commerce environment is something that does offer guidelines, and it's important if you're going to be active online that you make yourself afraid with those guidelines, and then you will know, you'd be a lot more alert as to what you should be wary of and what you as a consumer is entitled to in terms of that protection.
Thank you. Yes, please. We have only 7 minutes left, so one more comment and we'll sum up.
Actually, mine is not a comment, it's a question. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate that you guys took the time to come hang out with us at the end of the day on a Thursday. So my question for you is actually, where do you learn about these practices? Do you learn about them through trial and error? Do you talk about them with your peers? Do you have professors or teachers who are like, hey, don't do this? I mean, have you ever had a class so going way back, when I was in computer classes, we didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about trust online or where to buy things, mainly because Amazon was still selling books when I was in computer classes. So, but what I'm saying is I'm really interested to learn about how you learn about trust, or where you learn about trust, or are you the teachers? Are you going out and teaching your parents and your grandparents and your peers and other people about how to trust online? So I'm interested in your experiences.
Very good question, and if we can have Mike back to give to our panelists. So do you have good teachers, or you are the teachers?
So yeah, I think I'm both. I'm teacher and learner. So I think that on computer class, so I learned that on hyperlinks, for example. On hyperlinks, if they have .edu.com.org, I think that, well, they are trustable links. So I think that's a clue of the trustable links.
At least me, when I was a kid, my parents always told me to not trust anything on the TV. So I took the same advice for the internet. So it wasn't until I spent a lot of time on the internet to be able to know what was reliable and what wasn't, and what was a good source, what wasn't a good source. And yeah, even in class, even in university, the professor are always telling you the type of, for example, if there's a new virus, for example, the ransomware, I think the last year, the Department of Hacienda, I don't know what is the translation.
Treasury.
The Department of Treasury, someone opened a link and the whole system was locked down with a ransomware. So basically, since I was a kid, I was just spending time on the internet and not trusting everything. Like, just took my father's advice.
Alexander?
So I'm basically both also. A learner because the teacher on the back, he's Alex Tirado. He's my technology teacher. Well, he showed me that in this university they show you about cybersecurity. So I entered there and they showed me a few basic stuff. Like basically, if you go to an email and you see, that they send you like, hey, your information, that they need your information on Amazon. And they don't address you by your name. They have to address you by your name and your second name. Your last name, sorry. So if they only address you by their first name, that means that's a scam. But not only that, it's only when they address you to somewhere else and the domain.